We made it to July, Broncos country. I believe that deserves a nice little mile-high salute. What's going on? Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. The Broncos rookies, by the way, report for training camp in 15 days, which to me, means that the 2025 season is right around the corner. So here's what I need you to do. Spam those DB4Ls in the comment section down below. Let's get diehard Broncos fans to show us how ready they are for the 2025 season. I got to hand it to ESPN. I've been very impressed with their most recent offseason articles. They have been doing a great job of continuing to bring us in and making sure that we're up to date surrounding all of our, favorite players or players that we need to look out for in the 2025 season. And they recently listed surprise players for all 32 NFL teams. And at first, I was thinking, can you really name a rookie player as a surprise breakout? But then I was like, well, yeah, rookies can surprise people for sure. And they listed Pat Bryant, the third-round pick for the Broncos in 2025, as their surprise player. And the more and more I started to think about it, the more and more I got intrigued about what they had to say. And here's specifically what they said about Pat Bryant. They said, perhaps it's difficult to be under the radar when your head coach, Sean Payton, compares you to Micahel Thomas before you've even set foot in the team's facility. But the rookie showed he will do his part to carve out some playing time. He did run a 4.6 40, which is not fast at all, which caused some concern for scouts around the league. But the Broncos saw a precise route runner, love to hear that, who consistently created space with explosive releases at the line of scrimmage. And consistency in his game with his physicality seemed to be the most impressive thing during minicamp and OTAs for the Broncos. In fact, he had a catch over Jahdae Barron in minicamp, which was one of the best receptions in the three-day affair, noted by not only ESPN, but other Broncos beat reporters. And I got to talk a little bit more about Pat Bryant here. Excuse me, fumbling over my words a little bit. I don't know that we saw the full scope of how good this kid is going to be. I know Illinois has kind of revamped their look as a college football team, but make no mistake about it, this is still a 3 or 4 star program. We're not talking about the Georgias or the Alabamas, the Notre Dames, the USCs, Ohio States, etc. Those are 5, 6 star programs. Illinois is very mid-tier. So I don't know that Pat Bryant's talent was on full display. And I know that his statistics show you that he was at least somewhat focal point of their offense. But I also know that they prioritize the run at Illinois. Hell, I'm from Illinois. I know all about this program. Not the biggest fan of the Fighting Illini, but that's neither here nor there. And like I said, you should be very impressed with his yards per reception. 18.2 is insane. 10 touchdowns, nuts. Only 1 drop. He has got the talent and the skill set to succeed, albeit maybe he doesn't have blazing speed. But I don't need him to run a 4.4. I don't need him to be Tyreek Hill, who runs a 4.2 something. I just need him to find ways to create space in the open field. And looking at the Broncos wide receiver room, Marvin Mims is going to take the top off you. Cortland Sutton excels in the deep game. Troy Franklin's got speed. I don't need Pat Bryant to be the guy that goes over the middle of the field. Can you deliver precise route running? Can you excel over the middle of the field between 10 and 15 yards? And if you can, that adds another element for Bo Nix to succeed in the 2025 season. So I'm happy about that. And Sean Payton, who famously compared him to a Saints legendary wide receiver, Micahel Thomas, knows that too. And remember, if you can go back to Micahel Thomas's time in New Orleans, what was he known for? Everybody called him the slant king. That's like the only route that he was really known for, was how great he was at running slants. But I was talking to our Saints host today, and Trace, funny enough, his name is Trace as well, said they couldn't stop it. I mean, his career numbers are ridiculous. Now, I know he got injury prone the later on and, further along he got into his career, but you're still talking about a wide receiver one that multiple people had on their fantasy teams over and over and over again. Drew Brees, Micahel Thomas connection was absolutely insane. So could that be the Bo Nix and Pat Bryant connection? Only time will tell. But I do know this. If Pat Bryant is 80% of what Micahel Thomas was, it's a win. It's an absolute win. You got this guy in the third round. You're not expecting, Justin Jefferson numbers straight out of his rookie season. But I did decide to throw my projections out there, and I feel like this would be a very, very good rookie season for Pat Bryant. 74 targets, 47 receptions, 500 yards, a little over 500 yards, and 3 touchdowns. If you put those numbers up, your rookie season with the bevy and the cornucopia of wide receiving talent the Broncos currently have, it is absolutely a WA season for Pat Bryant. So I'll ask you this question, super simple and easy for you. 500 receiving yards for Pat Bryant, his rookie season. Type over, type U for under. It is going to be close, I'll give you that, considering there are a plenty of weapons and mouths to feed in this wide receiver room. That's not even including Evan Ingram, who's also going to get his fair share of looks. But I do think Pat Bryant has the chance to go over, so I'll say over with 529. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. All right, coming up, got some Peyton Manning news. I just wanted to end today's episode on a really strong and kind of wholesome note. Do me a favor, Mr. Producer, Nick Lopez, go to the single shirt there for me for Fanatics. And speaking of, he's about to pull it up for you right here. Ooh, it's sweet. Look at that. And by the way, we had an incredible amount of sales on this shirt just yesterday. Help me show my bosses that my salesman techniques are through the roof. This shirt is 60% off for you right now. I've made it easy for you. I put this link in the comments and description of today's video. Shout out to Fanatics, a little handshake deal that we've got with them. It helps support the channel. But if you want to look stylish but also remain comfortable and sport the best Broncos gear, do it with this link or go to chatsports.com/BroncosT. Okay, so Peyton Manning holds this annual Manning passing camp, which kind of, allows Peyton, Eli, and all the Manning family to kind of give back to the community, but also impart some wisdom on the youth and shows them how to play quarterback the right way, but also teaches them fundamentals of football. And it's just a really great, event. That's the best way that I can put it. And I got to hand it to Peyton. He is looking a little bit bigger now that he's retired, being a little bit of a gut there, but nothing wrong with that. He can still sling the rock. And I know that, towards the end of his Broncos tenure, his arm basically just kind of fell off and died. But he was still a very pivotal person and player for that Broncos Super Bowl win. I do know that he did end up getting benched for Brock Osweiler. But at the same time, you cannot discredit what Peyton Manning did for the city of Denver and the Broncos fan base, because we're talking about Hall of Fame, top 5 greatest ever quarterback, Peyton Manning. And this is what it's all about, right? Remaining in the game, giving back to the community. Shout out to producer Lopez here on the ones and twos, who correctly identified that this was Nickel State in Louisiana. So deep trivia there that he pulled out of his you-know-what, which was pretty cool to see. But I want to also say that Peyton is an unbelievable role model, right? Like, this is what you want to see from your ex-players. And I was gifted all of these photos, by the way, from one supreme fan of the show who's, choosing to remain anonymous. But I do greatly appreciate his efforts getting out there and taking all this footage for me and then sending in so I could use it on the show. Here's Peyton, a little clip that I am able to show of him kind of, hyping up the kids, giving them high fives, and just overall having a great time. Take a look. Love to see it. And as you can see, there are plenty of people that are over there and just having themselves a great time. So got to hand it to Peyton Manning. Thank you so much for staying in the game of football and giving back to the youth of today and helping raise and develop and shape the future of NFL football, because you got to know that at least one or two of those kids are going to end up making the league. So show Peyton Manning some love. Get those 18s going down in the chat below. We love ourselves some Peyton Manning here on the channel. Make sure you also follow me if you want to as well. I'm putting out Broncos content all the time here on the channel. I made it super easy for you. Not only did I put these in the comments and description of today's video, but super easy, same handle for both Moose_NFL on X and on Instagram. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Like the video, and as always, be cool.